Good day, students at home. Welcome to Civic Education class. I hope you are getting the topics we've been treating. All right. Today we want to look at civil society. But before then, let me quickly remind us of what we did last time. We talked about reasons for shortcomings in the public service. We also look at ways by which the public service could be improved, knowing fully well that it is very, very important in any democratic setting. Today, we'll be looking at the meaning of civil societies as well as types. What is civil society? Civil and society. Civil society can be defined as institutions and groups of people with common interest and purpose or goals which they pursue. They are institutions, groups of people coming together because they have common interest, because they have a target, they have a goal. And so they can only achieve this goal by coming together and doing it collectively. We can also call them non-governmental organizations, NGOs, formed to pursue specific issues such as human rights, public health, election, etc. In other words, civil societies don't just exist. They exist for an objective, for a goal. And so they come together to pursue this goal. These goals varies, ranging from human rights to public health, elections, gender equality issues, children issue, education, and so on. These are issues that brought together people to form civil society. They are voluntary organizations, not mandatory, not compulsory, set up and run by private individuals so as to contribute to community or national development. Even though when I was telling you functions of government is expected to develop the nation. Government is expected to provide infrastructural amenities, social amenities, and so on. But then do you know that government alone cannot do this? And so civil societies are also involved in all these developmental projects. And so it is set up by individuals and not government. It is not controlled by government, even though at times they get funds from government, but it is not 100%. It is financed by private individuals. And what is their target? To contribute their own quota to their community or national development. We call them NGOs, non-governmental organizations, because they are not part of government. Members are not on the payroll of government, unlike public service. We want to look at the various categories of civil society. They are categorized into 4 or 5. The first one is the human rights groups. In other words, they come together, form an organization to fight for the right of citizens, to defend the right of citizens, to check government from trampling on rights of citizens. We have a lot of them. They watch the government. They watch the human rights of government. They watch violations and they watch the observance. Number 1, we have the civil liberty organizations. Like I told you, I'm going to give you about 4 or 5. Civil Liberties Organization, the CLO, the Legal Aid Council, the Committee for the Defense of Human Rights, and the League of Human Rights. Look at the Legal Aid Council, number 2. What do? They attend to people who cannot afford legal fees. In other words, if you have an issue with government, you have a case in court, and you cannot afford the legal fees, you can't afford to hire a lawyer, they come in handy, they assist you, they give you a lawyer or lawyers to represent you in that case. We also have Committee for the Defense of Human Rights, who are involved in fighting for the rights of citizens. We have League of Human Rights. Number 2, the second category is the pro-democracy groups. Pro-democracy groups. What do? They make sure that democratic principles are followed to the letter. They act as watchdogs on government whenever they are going anti-democracy. They educate the public on the advantage, on the evils of other government rather than democratic form of government. We have NADECO, the National Democratic Coalition, and if you can remember very well, this group played a major role during the military era. They played a major role in returning this country to a democratically elected government. We also have the Campaign for Democracy, CD, also a pro-democracy group. These are pro-democracy groups under civil society. The third category is the labor groups or trade union. This group comprises of people coming together who are involved in the same vocation or trade or business. For example, we have the Nigeria Union of Teachers, comprising all teachers in the country. They fight for the welfare of teachers. They act as a link between teachers and the relevant authorities. Number 2, we also have Nigeria Bar Association, that is Association of Lawyers, who also fight for the interest of their members. Number 3, the Nigeria Medical Association, NMA, comprising all doctors. We have the Academic Staff Union of Universities, that is all lecturers in the nation's university. We have the Nigerian Union of Journalists, comprising all journalists. We also have the Nigerian Labour Congress, that is all workers in Nigeria belong to this group. That's another civil society. The fourth group is the gender-based group. The gender-based group. Those who fight, who protect the interest of a particular gender, of a particular sex. For example, we have the Nigeria Council of Women's Societies. We also have women's rights, advancement, and protection. Also, we have International Federation of Women Lawyers, comprising all female lawyers throughout the world. What do? They protect the interest of the women folk. They protect the interest of the female gender. Anytime their rights are being trampled upon, they speak out. They act as agents or link between the female gender and the government. They act as link between the female gender and relevant authorities. We also have faith-based group, that is religious associations, such as the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, that protect the interest of Christians in the country. We have the Nigeria Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, the highest ruling Islamic body in Nigeria. We have the Jamaatul Nasrul Islam, the JNI, and we also have the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria. We have a lot of so many faith-based groups in the country, but I'm just giving you 4 out of them. That is another type of civil society. Now, can we look at the characteristics of civil societies? Features of civil societies. Number one, they are non-profit oriented organizations, and that is the most important feature of civil societies. They are not out to make profit. They are not out to make gain. They are not out for selfish interest. They are out to protect the interests of others, to ensure welfare of citizens, to assist government, to serve as complement to what government is doing. They don't make profit at all. As a matter of fact, they use their money. They use everything that is at their disposal to implement whatever they set out to do. Number two, they are non-governmental organizations, NGOs. They are not established or set up by government. They are not controlled by government. They don't take instructions from government, and they are not supervised officially by government. Even though whenever they are doing something that is illegal, it is the duty of government to call them to order. But they are not controlled by government and are not supervised by government. They are independent organizations. Number three, members of civil societies work towards a goal or objectives. Unlike a public servant who is employed by the government, who is given a specific assignment day in, day out, civil societies work towards a goal or objective. For example, the gender-based group have a target. And what is their target? To fight for the interest and welfare of the female gender. The faith-based group have their own objectives. And what do? They ensure the welfare of members of their group. For example, the Christian Association of Nigeria sees to the welfare of Christians, while the one for the Muslim sees to the welfare of the Muslim in general. Number four, they are primarily concerned with citizens' welfare. That is their concern, no other thing. The whole essence of civil society is the welfare of citizens. Any other thing is secondary. Number five, as I've told you earlier on, they are independent of government control. They are not controlled by government. They are not financed by the government, and they are not supervised by government. Number six, membership cut across all stratas of the society. In other words, membership is not restricted to a particular set of people. The old, the young, students, professionals, male and female, can belong to one civil society or the other. As long as you are a student in the country, you are a member of the National Association of Nigerian Students. As long as you are a lawyer, you are a member of the NBA. As long as you are a medical doctor, you are a member of the NMA. And as long as you are a teacher, you are part and parcel of the NUT. Wonderful student at home, we have talked about meaning of civil society. We talk about types of civil society. We talk about gender-based society. That is, society that is meant for female gender alone. Those who fight for the interest of the female gender. Those who protect and ensure the welfare of the female gender. For example, there are some groups whose primary objective is to fight against female genital mutilation, female circumcision. There are some whose target is to fight against rape of children. There are those whose target is to eradicate maltreatment of women. We talk about labor union or trade union. We talk about those whose primary aim is to protect the welfare of members of their union. For example, we have the NUT that protect the interest or represent the interest of teachers throughout the country. We have NMA, whose primary concern is to see to the welfare of all medical doctors. We have ASU that protect the interest of all university teachers. We have the NLC, that is the Nigerian Labour Congress, whose concern is the welfare of all workers in Nigeria. We also discuss the various characteristics of civil societies. I said they are non-profit oriented organizations. They are not out to make profit. They are not after gains. They are also non-governmental organizations, not controlled by government, not influenced by government. They rather try to influence the policies and programs of government to benefit their members. Number 3, members work towards a goal or objectives. Number 4, they are concerned with the welfare of citizens. Number 5, civil societies are independent of government control. They are not under the control of any arm of government. They are not under the legislature. They are not under the judiciary. Neither are they under the executive. They are free. They are independent. And membership cuts across all stratas of the societies. Students at home, before I draw the curtain on today's episode, I'd like to ask the following questions, and I want answer to them. I want your answers to be sent to the address on the screen. Number 1, I want you to define civil society. And number 2, explain in details 5 characteristics of civil society. Until we meet next time, it's bye for now.